Kindness saves lives, and it is something we are all capable of and in need of. The Born This Way Foundation has developed various youth-led programs aimed at making kindness cool, validating the emotions of young people, and eliminating the stigma surrounding mental health. Welcome to Normalize The Conversation. I'm your host, Francesca Reicherter, and today I'm joined by Josh Hollin, a digital associate at Born This Way Foundation. Join us as Josh shares his journey, how it led him to join the Born This Way Foundation, and the programs and initiatives that they have created on their way to making the world a kinder and braver place. Josh, I am so excited for our conversation today, but before we begin, I really just want to check in with you. How are you really?
Fran, I so appreciate you holding space for me today and for asking such a thoughtful question. I am feeling really good today. I had a really nice breakfast, pancakes, eggs, and an orange juice, and I feel rejuvenated and just ready to start my day. And I am just so excited to be speaking with you today. How are you feeling?
First of all, thank you for being honest and thank you for being here today. I'm feeling really good. As I was telling you a few minutes ago, I just got my hair done. I'm a brunette again. I have my personality back. Life is good right this second. But I'm so jealous on your breakfast. Oh my goodness. I had an English muffin that I put a little bit of jarred sauce on quickly and some cheese. And I was like, this is the closest I'm going to get to pizza. So I'm so jealous on that breakfast. But other than being jealous, so good.
Delish. That sounds amazing. And I love the brunette. I was just telling my friend the other day, I usually dye my hair, and I feel like every time we dye our hair, it's just hitting a reset button on everything. It just feels like we're stepping into a new season, and it looks great on you. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much. I absolutely agree. I feel like me again. I went from feeling just overwhelmed and tired and I don't know what I'm doing to suddenly feeling confident. I don't know what it is about hair that can change my confidence level so fast, but I love it. But I'm really excited to talk to you today about your journey and your work at Born This Way Foundation. Before we jump into the Born This Way Foundation, I really want to learn more about you and your journey and what inspired you to get into this work.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking, Fran. So, as I mentioned, my name is Josh Hollin, pronouns he, him, and I am digital associate with Born This Way Foundation by day. And by night, I am a singer, songwriter, musician. I work under the stage name Pajama Josh. You can check out my music on all platforms. But my journey with Born This Way Foundation really began in 2017. I was studying music at Florida Atlantic University. I don't know if there's any upright bass players listening to this podcast right now, but that is my main instrument. And my main focus was in commercial music. So I always had a passion for storytelling through my music, but also through writing. And so, a lot of my friends in college would kind of like to go out and have fun and hang out, and I was just kind of that student that would just kind of stay to myself in my dorm room. I would consider myself kind of like an introverted extrovert. I'm very social, but I also really value alone time, and it's kind of my time to really be creative and write and do the things that I like to do. And so as most people, I was scrolling on Twitter on a Saturday night, and I happened to see a tweet from Born This Way Foundation calling on young people ages 15 to 24 to report on acts of kindness in their communities. And prior to my time in college, and during my time in college, I was very involved in my community as a musician, but also I helped my school when this contest called Join the Shift, which was a safe driving initiative, helped win them $10,000 through just things that I did in high school. And I just always had a passion for helping people and wanting to tell stories, basically. And so I saw this call to action on Born This Way Foundation's Twitter, and was just inspired to just apply. And to be completely honest, Fran, I wasn't thinking I was going to get it or that anything was going to happen. I just kind of took that leap of faith and applied. And the next thing I knew, I was in New York City with 50 other young authors from across the United States, and was being trained on how to use my talents to report on these acts of kindness in our communities. And so I started a podcast called Channel Kindness Radio, where I would essentially invite local nonprofits in the South Florida area to the conference room in my dorm. And I would take my Shure SM7B mic and, the garage band on my laptop, and I would host these interviews out of my dorm room. And that's really where my work with Born This Way Foundation really began. So I was a Channel Kindness reporter all through, I think it was all through 2017. And then I kind of stayed in touch with the foundation through like 2018 and 2019. And then in 2020, there was an internship opportunity for a comms and digital intern. And I applied, and then just kind of one thing led to another, and I got offered a full-time position with the foundation. And for those that are listening that may not be familiar with Born This Way Foundation, Born This Way Foundation was founded in 2012 by Lady Gaga and her mother, Cynthia Germanata, with the mission of building a kinder and braver world. And we do this through three main goals in mind. So one, we aim to make kindness cool. Two, to validate the emotions of young people around the world. And three, to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health. And we do this through high impact programming, youth-led conversations, cutting edge research, as well as cross-sectoral partnerships and youth-led conversations, much like the one that we're having today. So that's just a little bit about my journey and what led me here. And thank you so much for asking about my journey. I really appreciate it.
Of course. What a serendipitous moment. Just scrolling on Twitter at the right time, seeing the right post, having that courage to apply, and how far you've come with it and the work that you get to be part of. That's incredible.
It's honestly, Fran, it's such a whirlwind because it's just life works in such mysterious ways. Like the fact that I came across that tweet and now I help run digital at the foundation and putting some of the tweets out. So it's just like, it's such a full circle moment. And yeah, it's so, I think the word that you used, serendipitous, was such a great word to describe it.
Oh, I love that so much for you. And I am so excited to see people my age range who are doing this kind of work, who are getting involved in mental health, the advocacy space of just giving people support, letting them know that they're not alone, and encouraging people to just be kind and hang on a little bit longer. It is so important. And for so long, I think that youth were really excluded from the conversation. It was really focused and tailored more toward adults. So to see that we're really aiming at youth and young adults and giving them the support they need and giving them a space to actually be part of a conversation is so game-changing.
Absolutely. And I think that, there's kind of this narrative out there that young people are, apathetic, or like they, don't want to get involved, or they're lazy. And that just couldn't be further from the truth. Young people are the future. Young people are inspired, are active in their communities and want to make a difference.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that was one thing that when I was starting out, I was so passionate about changing and finding communities who understood that we don't need to be excluded from the conversation.
Right.
And people would say, well, kids are so resilient, we don't need to focus on them. We don't need to focus on them. They're resilient. They'll get through it. And someone once had said to me, someone was talking about that, and someone responded with, well, why are so many adults in therapy then? Yeah. And for me, that kind of clicked it. Like, that's so true. We're completely ignoring the conversation, the support, giving people the tools to know how to support a friend, how to support a loved one, how to just take 30 seconds to breathe, which is why I love the initiatives at Born This Way Foundation and why I'm so excited for you to jump in a little deeper into the work that you actually get to do and the programs that you have.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for asking that question again, Fran. So we at Born This Way Foundation, as I mentioned, have many programs that are aimed to support the mental wellness of young people and really anyone. And one of these programs is the Be There certificate. And the Be There certificate is a free, self-paced online mental health course, which is available in English, French, and Spanish, with original content written in films for each language. And we created this resource with an organization, a Canadian organization called jack.org. And the certificate program is kind of based on this framework called the 5 Golden Rules. And I actually wrote a song about it. If anybody wants to check it out, you can go to our TikTok at BTW Foundation to check it out. But these 5 golden rules are: 1, to say what you see; 2, show you care; 3, hear them out; 4, know your role; and 5, connect to help. And you essentially go through the program, through like a series of modules, and just like there's so many great examples. And at the end, you get a certificate that you can print out. You can post it on social media, and it's just an incredible resource. I've used it. There have been times in my life since I've taken it that I've literally applied what I've learned from taking the certificate into real life. So that's an incredible resource. Another one that we have is pleasestay.us, which is a platform that was developed with the assistance of an organization called Find Your Anchor. And it serves as a valuable suicide prevention tool, sharing mental health resources and expert curated self-care advice to support your well-being. And additionally, it provides suggestions for anchors and encourages people to join the Please Stay Pledge, which is a promise to remain in this world. And Find Your Anchor was founded by this incredible friend to the foundation, Ali Borowski, who is a multiple suicide attempt survivor. And as I mentioned, as I was, kind of explaining about Please Stay, there are these things called anchors. And after Ali survived one of her attempts, she said that her anchors were like a toothbrush, a clean pair of underwear, and like an extra pickle with lunch, right? So like these anchors are really anything that kind of grounds us day to day, minute to minute, day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, right? Just these things that really ground us. So Fran, like my anchor is music. That is the thing that keeps me grounded. And I'm curious for you, what are some of your anchors? What are some of the things that keep you grounded?
Oh, such a good question. I would say, first of all, I love to color kind of encouragement cards. So that's one of the initiatives inspiring my generation, solely because it was something that helped me, and it was like my coping skill and something that just kept me going. So I try to do one at least every single day. It is one of those things that grounds me in the moment, that ignites a little bit of hope into me when I'm feeling hopeless or overwhelmed. So I'd have to say that's my biggest one, is like coloring an encouragement card, or just even an encouraging message like you are not alone or you are enough. The second one I would say is 120% my dog. Just having that, when I'm crying, I have to tell you, when I'm crying, she will come and lick my tears away and then just snuggle and put her nose right up to my nose. I don't know how I got so lucky. I don't know like who taught her to be this kind, but
what kind of dog do you have?
She's a Shih Tzu. She's actually going to turn 5 in 15 days. She's growing up so fast. I got her when I was living alone for the first time in college, and she became my entire world. So I'd say she's like 120% one of my anchors.
Dogs are just the best anchors in the
Right?
world. I like truly, they are the best anchor. Like you really
Absolutely.
summed it all up there for me.
Yes, there's something about the compassion that a dog has, that empathy that is unlike no other. I'm so lucky.
And just like they're so sensing, and like they can tell when something's wrong. And I love dogs. I could literally talk about dogs all day.
I know. And then my dog, we will go right back into this conversation, but I have to say my dog, I got her, no, I lied. I got myself this like cute little stuffed animal thing, and she just decided it was hers and took it. But when I was like really overwhelmed the other day and I was just so stressed, I was like hyperventilating. She went and picked up like the little teddy bear and brought it to me, and my heart melted. And I think that's what finding that little act of kindness, right? It was like an act of kindness from my dog that just gave me some kind of relief and sense of like hope and
That
living in the
everything,
moment again, just bringing me back to the present instead of in that kind of panic attack that I was having.
they just, yeah, they just really make it seem like everything's going to be okay. It's just, I love dogs.
Yeah. Now I know we're going to talk about Be Kind 365 in a minute, but I want to go back to the Be There certificate because I did start mine. So I haven't completed it yet. I'm still on the first one. No, I just finished the first one. I'm on the second one. And it's amazing. It is so amazing to be able to see like the actual script, and you get to choose too, like, what would you say? How could you respond? And if it's not the right one or the best option, it explains why. So you can learn how to respond to people because no one teaches us this. We are never taught how to respond to someone who's struggling. In fact, I would actually say that we're more so taught to tell people to stop crying or to get over it or don't act like a baby. That's the language. At least that's the language that I was exposed to. So that's how I would automatically respond to my younger brother when we were younger. And it wasn't until I learned that that you don't have to minimize or invalidate or just shut someone down. You can give them space. But more so than give them space, there are words you can use to just let them know that they're not alone. So as I've been doing the Be There certificate, I am just blown away by how much actual tangible tools we can take away from it.
So many tools. And Fran, when I first took it, I'm going to be completely honest, like I thought like, oh, like I know about this, like I'll breeze through this, but I was surprised like how many like at first that I got wrong. And you're absolutely right. It tells you exactly why that is wrong. And it just provides such a clear framework for how to support your friends and your loved ones and how to be there for them.
Yes, it does. And it's so important because, again, if we don't change the narrative and we don't start providing the support, providing validating responses that give people a space to know that it's okay to open up when they're ready. We're not pressuring people to open up, which I think, at least for me, in my experience, I can say that when my friends and I were first starting to understand the shift that you could check in with people and really start a conversation, we tend to be like, no, talk about it. Like, what's wrong? Talk to me right now, right? Because we just wanted to provide support. And we didn't know that it's not helping by trying to force someone who's not ready. But knowing that you can even say, when you're ready, I'm here. You can talk to me. So just developing the language and the change from get over it, I don't want to hear it, to when you're ready, I'm here. So needed.
That is exactly right. Just really becoming that presence in someone's life and letting them know that this is a safe space and that you can come to me, I think is truly the best way and the kindest way to show that you are there for them. Not giving your unsolicited advice or, pretending like you have all the answers, but just truly being present in the moment, listening to what they have to say. I think is just such a powerful way to be there for someone.
Absolutely. It's so important to just listen. For conversations for so long, it's been about responding, right? I mean, that's how I used to go into a conversation, to be completely honest. I went into a conversation ready to have a response. And I prided myself on how like witty my responses could be too. That's definitely one of like just something that was what I was taught. So it was normal to me. And realized I wasn't listening to what they were saying. I was only thinking about what I could respond to.
Right.
So they may have been explaining something and I took the first thing that I heard and came up with a response, and they may have explained it out in a completely different way. And my response now is just attacking them or being overly defensive without hearing what they were going to say. So it's so important that we actually give people the space to talk and we're listening. And then we formulate a response at the end and not in the beginning of them talking.
Absolutely. Active listening, right? That's That's something that I even need to do a better job of working. I think all of us, can do a better job at that. And yeah, it's listening to like you said, not just respond, but to actually listening to understand.
It's so important. I'm so excited for everyone to learn more about the Be There certificate, because this is what we need. We need these conversations. We need to be giving kids, youth, young adults, everyone a chance to learn how they can respond to somebody and what they can say, because we all need support. No matter who you are, whether or not you are struggling with your mental health, there's going to be a time where something knocks you down, whether it's getting a bad grade, not getting into a school you wanted, not losing a job, not getting hired by the company you want, the end of a relationship, losing someone. We're all going to need support at one time or another, multiple times throughout our lives. So by learning how we can respond to others, not only do we learn how to be compassionate toward ourselves, but encouraging our community to start learning how to have these conversations. We'll have people there to support us as well.
That's exactly right, Fran. Everyone's going through something, and the certificate, it takes a little under 2 hours to complete, and you can earn your certificate by visiting betherecertificate.org.
It's amazing. I hope everyone checks it out. And now shifting back into the other programs, I know you really want to talk about Be Kind 365. When you showed me this platform, I was blown away. I'm so excited for you to talk more about it.
Oh my gosh, Fran, like my excitement level, it's like it's bursting out of this computer right now. I am so excited to share more about Be Kind 365. So every year since 2018, Born This Way Foundation has hosted a global kindness movement known as Be Kind 21, which calls on participants to practice an act of kindness each day from September 1st to September 21st, with the mission of building kinder, more connected communities that foster mental wellness. And just to give you a couple stats, in 2021, Be Kind 21 generated 6.8 million participants, 143 million pledged acts of kindness, and 2.8 billion impressions across social media. And this year, Born This Way Foundation is so excited to keep this momentum going all year round through the creation of this new digital platform, Be Kind 365. And so Be Kind 365 is an invitation to build kindness into your life every day, wherever you are and whenever you can. And the platform is really designed to engage, excite, and inspire kindness 24/7, 365 through a variety of digital components and activations. And so, Fran, I was so excited when you mentioned cards, because one of the features on the site is called the GPS, which stands for Gratitude Postal Service. And this is a feature where visitors can choose to send a message of gratitude to anyone in the world and remind them that they matter. And they can send this via email or share the love on social by tagging friends. I try not to have favorites, but the site is just so awesome. I could literally like talk about it all day. But I would say my favorite feature of the site is a feature called the Kindness Generator. And the Kindness Generator is a shuffler that takes 365 Born This Way Foundation curated kind act suggestions and recommends users a new kind act for each day of the year for inspiration. So, Fran, I don't know if like you can relate to this, but sometimes like when I wake up, the first thing I do, right, is like I check my phone or like I roll over like to the cold side of my pillow, open up my laptop and just dive right into my inbox. And what's so great about the Kindness Generator is that it was really designed for people to practice intentional kindness. And so, for example, I'll hit start on the Kindness Generator and it will give me a kind act suggestion. So for example, one of the kind acts that I was given recently was to lay out my clothes the night before. And I think that so many people take for granted like how big of a difference that can really make in your day. I think we're all guilty of like, sometimes like if we're in a rush, like we'll just like grab a shirt or sweatpants out of like the dirty clothes pile and we're just like start our day. But just by like laying out my clothes the night before, having a pair of socks that match, right? Not one white sock and one like pink sock, but like two matching socks. And it's just like nicely laid out when I wake up the next morning, and I just put it on, and it just completely changed the way that I started my day. And that act of self-kindness was just like one example of how incredible this platform is. That one self act of kindness just completely changed my day. So through this generator, it will give you kind act suggestions for you to do to others, and then kind act suggestions for people to do for their community. We also, through the site, we have the Kindness Pledge, where visitors will be invited to sign up and take the Be Kind 365 pledge to practice intentional kindness for themselves and others for 365 days. Once you sign up, you get 365 building blocks, which go in to this other feature of the site called the Kind Connector. And the Kind Connector is basically an interactive page which shows how all of our individual acts of kindness come together to build this kinder and braver world through this interactive globe. So you can visually see on this globe where in the world these kind acts are being performed and how they kind of come together to build this kinder and braver world that we're building at Born This Way Foundation. And then just a few other things on the site I want to quickly just mention. We have a link to Channel Kindness, which is Born This Way Foundation's online youth storytelling platform, where visitors can share their stories of kindness and resilience through written, audio, and video formats. We also have a link to mental health resources, which links to Born This Way Foundation's Find Help page, where visitors can find a list of mental health resources and evidence-based self-care tips. And then we also have our About page, which isn't like a typical About page on any old website, right? This About page is an interactive experience that takes users through our research, the journey of how Be Kind 21 led us to Be Kind 365, as well as the history of Born This Way Foundation and really what we do through a series of pictures, videos, and animations. So it's a really fun site. I really hope everybody just takes the time to check it out. And the website is bekind365.world. So I'm so excited for people to check it out and just to see how all of our collective kindness comes together to build a kinder and braver world.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. First of all, kindness and the kindness generator and kindness toward yourself, toward others, and toward your community. Huge. Because when I first heard like Be Kind 365, I thought, okay, being kind to others all the time. Amazing, right? So great to make that impact. I did not think when I thought about kindness, being kind to myself and making time and intention for kindness just to myself, that self-love, self-compassion. And I think that's so common, right? That we forget to be kind to ourselves. We forget to treat ourselves like a friend, like someone we actually love and value and support as we should. It's that for me, I think was one of the most like amazing things to hear, was making time to be kind to yourself and not just focusing on others, because it's so important to focus on others and be kind to others. It is like, please be kind to everyone. It's so important to be kind, but it's equally as important to be kind to yourself and to love yourself because you deserve it too.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that we say all the time at the foundation is that, you can't pour from an empty cup. So it's so important to fill your own cup with kindness, so you can pour it out to others and to your community. So yeah, I think that that's such a powerful note, Fran. And yeah, that's really what we're trying to do here, is to channel that kindness to yourself so people can channel that kindness into the rest of the world.
I love that. It is so needed. And then the GPS.
But yeah, I also love that feature so much. One of the templates is a message that says you've survived 100% of your hardest days. Keep going. And I think that messages like that just can completely change someone's day. and just letting them know that someone out there is thinking about them, I think is just such a powerful kind act.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Tell me why I wrote that in a card yesterday. Our minds were so in sync with that.
No
Wow.
way.
It's so, so important to send these messages of kindness, gratitude, of encouragement, of love, of support, of hope to each other. Because going back to the being kind to yourself, we forget to be kind to ourselves. Honestly, we do. And a message like that can change everything. It can take a moment of feeling like, for example, when I was in the psych ward, I was so consumed by this idea that I wasn't good enough, that I was worthless, that I was not adding value to anybody, that the world would be better off without me. That was the mindset I had. And when I started creating these cards to bring into the psych wards, it was all about that moment, right? Of feeling so hopeless and of feeling so worthless and like I wasn't accomplishing anything, like I didn't deserve to be here. And taking that and changing the narrative, just reframe it into you're loved. You've survived so much so far. You can do this. You'll get through this too. Believe in yourself. Keep going. Hold on to hope. Just putting these messages out there and countering that. And with GPS, you're able to actually send that to people. Sounds like all around the world, that message that we may not even know how bad they need to hear it. We may not know how badly and desperately they need to hear that they're not alone, that they're going to get through this, that they can do this, that they're loved, or that just someone's out there thinking about them.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that story, friend. I think that is also what's so powerful about it, right? Like, it's not just receiving these kind notes, but actually being the one to send them, right? So it's like, it works both ways. I think that is such a powerful thing.
Yes, it is.
Because it fills the cup, but it also fills the cup of the person receiving it. It's just beautiful.
Oh, it is beautiful. I am so excited. So this is, I think the site is going to launch before this episode comes out, but when does the site launch?
So by the time this episode is out, it will be available for everybody to go on. So everybody check out bekind365.world. Follow us on social media at BTW Foundation on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook is Born This Way Foundation. And yeah, it's really an invitation for people to work kindness into their life wherever they are and whenever they can. And we can't wait to see everyone's kind acts on the globe and see it in action.
Oh, I can't wait for it too. I'm so excited. I was wondering before we wrap up, if I could ask a small favor.
Please.
Can you pull up your kindness generator and just share a kindness for us all to do? Share something that we can do. Challenge all of us today.
I will open it up. So bekind365.world. And then I'm going to click kindness generator. And then I am going to click proceed with kindness. And then, oh, one other thing that I didn't mention, you can also shuffle these kind acts. So if, for example, the kindness generator lands on an act that maybe like doesn't apply to you. So for example, maybe it'll say carpool. Well, maybe like I don't have anywhere to go today. You can shuffle and it'll give you another suggestion.
Oh, that's awesome.
So this is actually a great example. So for example, I was just given through the generator to cook someone a meal. I can't cook. I know how to use a microwave. That's about it. And I also don't have anybody coming over today. So here's a great one. Say positive affirmations. So today, Fran, I am just going to say that I am grounded in this moment here with you today. I am so grateful that you have given me this space to share about this incredible platform. And I am so proud of the fact that I get to share it with the world today. So that is my positive affirmation today. And I can't wait to learn about what everyone else's positive affirmations that are listening to this podcast.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to share mine. I am so grateful for people like you who are so willing to have these conversations, who are willing to make resources available to amplify the resources and the support that's available. And I'm so excited to watch both of us as we continue to make a difference and as our organizations continue to grow and make a wider and wider impact. Josh, you've been absolutely incredible today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Fran, and thank you again so much for holding this space. It's been such an honor getting to know more about you and your story, and just thank you so much for giving me the chance to share about our work at Born This Way Foundation and about Be Kind 365. I'm so excited for people to check it out.
Thank you so much for listening to Normalize the Conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. This podcast is an initiative of Inspiring My Generation, focusing on normalizing the conversation, bringing education and awareness to the forefront, and amplifying global voices to spark change and hope. Inspiring My Generation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization on a mission towards suicide prevention through awareness, conversation, education, and support. Connect with us on Instagram at Inspiring My Generation and visit our website inspiringmygeneration.org to learn more about our work and how you can make a difference.